All right, thanks for your patience. Let's get started now. We'll get back into presentation mode. And if, again, just a reminder, if you can mute your phones, if you haven't muted your phone, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. See. All right, got it. All right, let me get started again here. Ron Watson, thank you for attending. We have, this is the PTC User Invited Speaker Series, Design, Innovation, and Digital Thread Across the Engineering Lifecycle. We have Roque Martin, our special guest, Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Integrity Business Unit. Let me go into presentation mode here. And there we go. Okay, so we should be good here. Again, our mission: support, educate, and advocate for the community of PTC customers. It's all about you, so we need you to contribute. We have a lot of good content coming up from our user community, from PTC, from our partners. We have a very strong ecosystem of partners. So if you do want to contribute and you want to provide a webinar or a panel or whatever, please do contact me at ronw@ptcuser.org. So what do we have coming up? We have an Arbortext Symposium on May 21st at the Sheraton Ann Arbor Hotel in Ann Arbor, Michigan. That is the birthplace of Arbortext. I personally was an Arbortext customer before PTC acquired them, and I visited Ann Arbor, so this is very exciting. Admission is free for those of you who can attend. So again, there's the link. If you have any questions about getting in contact, by all means, reach out to anyone on the PTC user board and we'll help. LiveWorks 19, that's coming up June 10th to 13th, 2019. The best price can be attained by using our code. So there are every once in a while specials here and there, but this code should work to get you the best deal even during that period of the special. So by all means, the benefit is to all of you because we do get credit for your registration, which helps our organization thrive and grow and participate. So absolutely. Again, reminder, everybody, please do mute if you possibly can. Thank you. Next slide. We have something brand new for LiveWorks 2019. It's the CAD PLM Technical Day. So this is something we work very closely with PTC to say we would like, actually PTC brought this forward to us, which was even better, that we wanted to have a day that's focused on Creo and Windchill, because the event has got so big, it's gotten so broad and so deep in so many areas. This is an opportunity to come early and to just focus on information around Creo and Windchill. Now, if you are interested, it is free with the All Access Pass. So if you do register, you register with our code PTCuser19, but you must add this because we need to get food, right? And so and have the logistics ready for you. So please don't just show up. If you've already registered, you can go back and modify your registration in order to do that. If you have any issues, contact the LiveWorks support team. A bunch of wonderful people, really quite helpful. We have the PTC User Technical Committee meetings. We're not doing an open forum per se at the end of this event because we have the Monday. However, if you're on the technical committees, we're going to have meetings Thursday afternoon, and there'll be a readout at PTC's brand new headquarters in downtown Boston at the Seaport. So again, reach out, contact PTC User if you're involved, or the TC chairs. We encourage that very much. Now, Flex PLM and NPM Link committees will have a full day meeting on Monday. So if you're involved with those, you should already know. Again, reach out to PTC User if you're interested. This is the big news. This is great stuff. So Roque announced on June 10th at the LiveWorks event, there will be an Integrity Symposium. So this is really exciting, hot off the presses. You are the first ones to hear about this. Roque will talk about this more in his presentation, but it's really going to give you an opportunity to immerse yourself in the Integrity platform. It's for everybody, not just for experienced users. It's for novice administrators, executive managers. It's got a great agenda. Rocky's going to go over some of it here, but obviously in a limited amount of time, he can't go over it in the depth that you'll get when you attend LiveWorks and this event on June 1st. So absolutely exciting news, and I'm glad he's utilizing PTC User for the announcement. So what's next beyond that? Well, we already have booked. Actually, we booked out past this, but the next open forum, the winter open forum, is going to be in a very, very warm place. It's going to be in the suburbs of Phoenix, in Scottsdale, Arizona, at a beautiful resort. I had an opportunity last year to stay at that resort with my family. We happened to be on vacation there, and so we decided to stay a few days there while we were moving around. It's our 30th anniversary. There's going to be a lot of activities. I can't believe it. I've been part of the group since 1992. I don't want to date myself here, but some of us are getting old. So it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of good activities there. We're working on it to be exciting. Lots of partner events. It's a beautiful facility, great place to be, especially for those of us in the north on a cold January day. So by all means, that registration will be coming up soon. As always, there'll be a discounted rate up until September 1st. The portal. We're redesigning and we're constantly working on this portal to get it better. We see more activity. We see more collaboration. This event, in fact, will be, when the recording's posted, it'll be posted on our portal. So we continue to make investments in this area and leverage the knowledge and the experience of our technical committees, our RUGs, and our members to make it even better for all of you. So I thank you for your contribution. So now I'm going to turn it over to Roque and let him dazzle us a little bit. So Roque, let me just stop sharing and you can take control.
Okay. So let me take the ball.
Yes, please.
Yes, I do want to be the presenter, and let me share my screen. And I'm not sharing the right screen. Let's try over here. It's curious. You think that WebEx works the same everywhere, but it's
a little bit. Everybody gets a little bit different. Yep.
Right. Okay. So now you're seeing my screen, I hope, right?
I'm seeing the full PowerPoint. Looks good.
Perfect. Okay, Ron, thank you for that introduction, and hello, everybody, for joining this call. It really is a pleasure for me to be here today supporting PTC User. My name is Roque Martin, and I'm the General Manager of the Integrity Business Unit within PTC. And Integrity, of course, is the brand name for PTC's systems and software engineering products, and it's also the name of the business unit that I run. So let's get going. Everyday leading companies, such as the ones that you work at, are challenged to innovate in order for them to advance their competitive advantage. Increasingly, that innovation is fueled by digital technologies that are incorporated in the products that you develop or aimed at making the members of your team more productive and the processes that you and they execute more efficient and effective. Now, successful strategies usually entail linking and orchestrating these digital technologies across the enterprise, which is often referred to as a digital thread. So my goal today is to share PTC's perspective on the digital thread in engineering and more specifically on Integrity's critical role in the engineering lifecycle. So for those of you who follow PTC, you've likely seen this graphic because we've been using it for several years now. It was first published in the Harvard Business Review article written by Professor Porter and Jim Heppelman back in 2015. But the point here is straightforward. Products have changed. I think I'm not saying anything new or revealing here because you guys live this every day. Today, there are very few commercial products that don't have both physical and digital components. At the most basic level, there's the digital definition of the product, the CAD drawings, the parts bill of material, requirements documents, and so forth. But there's also the digital aspect of the product, the software, the computer-driven integrations, and so forth. It's here at this digital aspect that is increasingly where value is derived from the products and increasingly how you differentiate your products. In addition, the digital aspects increases the complexity of the products that you produce. It's reshaping value chains. It's giving opportunity to new entrants, and it's changing or has changed the competitive dynamics of the industries in which you play. So, this situation could be viewed as a threat, and sure, life could be difficult if you would attempt to do the same things that you've been doing for years in the same way. However, our perspective is that this is an incredibly exciting time. If you transform by embracing and leveraging this convergence of the physical and the digital aspects of your products and services, the opportunities really are tremendous. All right, great. So where do you start? What are the levers that are available to you? We think that there are three. You can transform your products and your services. You can transform your business processes, and/or you can transform your workforce. Ideally, you can do all three. Now, none of these transformations are easy, but this is an area that PTC has studied quite extensively for years, and is viewed as a leading authority on. This thought leadership was developed in collaboration with, as I said, Professor Porter, who's a renowned business strategist, and together. Professor Porter and Jim Heppelman, our CEO, have published these articles in this area. I'd encourage you to read them, or actually to reread them if it's been a while for you. I know that that's one of the things actually that I did in preparation for this discussion. And every time you read it, there's a new perspective that comes out. All right. So, what are some of the benefits of leveraging digital technologies in order to transform your products, your people, and your processes? Differentiation of your products and services clearly is one. A more productive workforce is another, and then breakthroughs in operational effectiveness is a third. So, just to set the context, this is a representative view of an average industrial company. Now, when you think about how to achieve those business outcomes, the product and service differentiation, the breakthroughs in operational effectiveness, the workforce productivity and quality across the enterprise, they take on different flavors. And that is because each of the functions has a different focus and contributes different things to the enterprise. So, for example, engineering is focused on accelerating the time to market. Manufacturing wants to increase throughput, and all the way through to the CXO, who is thinking about how to generate new revenue opportunities. So while each of these functions have unique focus and contribution, a constant across all these functions for industrial companies is the product, the processes, and the people. The idea here is that the digital thread that connects all these business functions in an enterprise, and that each of the business functions can access information about their products in the context that is relevant for that business function. And one of PTC's differentiators is our ability to impact the process, the product, and the people across all the functions. And as we will cover that later on in this webinar, so that they can inform the product digital twins and establish the cross-enterprise digital thread. So just a quick example for engineering in the 3D realm. If you look at product, you can look at in the CAD context, topology optimization, and later on generative design for additive manufacturing, which allows engineers to conceive innovative and product designs that were just not possible to manufacture before. On the process side, offerings such as Creo Simulation Live capabilities with ANSYS transform the design process by integrating simulation, guidance as well as normal part of your workflow instead of having a separate step. And then on the people side, you have augmented reality technology, which is changing the way that engineers collaborate during product design. And again, Creo AR Design Share provides engineers that experience to design 3D at scale and context anywhere in the world and collaborate with anybody in the world. So these are just 3 examples. I'll be providing more of how PTC can enable transformations in product, process, and people for the engineering context. So, we have many examples, and as a result, we've consolidated all those into 5 solution categories. To unleash opportunities for each of these functions across the enterprise, PTC goes to market under 5 solution categories, which you see here on the screen. Within each of these categories, PTC can transform, again, the product, process, and people. And so while the way we talk about our solutions may be new, and I'm referring to this view of the entire enterprise, certainly the business value that we create with these solutions is absolutely market driven. This is another differentiator for PTC, and one that we should be very proud of. One that the depth of experience that we have enabling manufacturers to capitalize on the promise of today's new technology to drive digital transformation. And in the next handful of slides here, I'm going to highlight just a few of the thousands of industrial customers that have already unleashed opportunities across their enterprise. I'm highlighting the engineering excellence block here because that's what I'm going to be coming back to when I talk about the Integrity family of solutions. All right, so briefly here, just to give you a few examples from the engineering realm, Polaris. Polaris have taken many steps in their digital transformation. For example, they're conducting variant-specific augmented reality design reviews, leveraging the bills of material and CAD data management capabilities that they have effectively rolled out. Whirlpool, on the other hand, if you were at LiveWorx last year, they were very active there, establishing a digital thread across the engineering lifecycle from their product specifications to the product architecture and even doing product in the loop testing. Now, by linking across the engineering lifecycle, Whirlpool is optimizing its product development process and developing global designs that are applicable across the globe where they sell their products to. And then KTM, motorcycle manufacturer in Austria, claims to have improved their time to market of their Duke motorcycles by over 15%. In the sales and marketing arena, this is also an area where delivering product data through augmented reality experience really shines. In the case of Mercedes-Benz, misunderstanding of software-enabled features is a common source of customer dissatisfaction. And what Mercedes is doing is offering AR user manuals for their E and S class cars to improve the end user experience and to help them to navigate through the advanced features of the car. Sulzer, the maker of industrial pumps, and Fujitsu, maker of data center equipment, both use augmented reality to help their customers envision their company's respective products in their environments, which enables them to accelerate their sales cycle while reducing sales cost. In the manufacturing realm, efficiency is the name of the game, and Woodward and BAE are both examples where they're leveraging digital technology to improve the productivity and the quality of work of their manufacturing employees. BAE, for example, reduced the training time of their employees assembling battery cells used in buses by about 30 to 40%. In the product and service innovation aspect, PTC ThingWorx technology has helped Sysmex revolutionize the way that common blood tests are delivered. Okay. Howden and Train are both leveraging digital technology to deliver product as a service. Howden actually has an interesting paper on their website, which is available for download, the impact of digitalization, focusing on the digital twin. So it's an interesting read. And then finally, in the area of service optimization, Qantas has an aggressive 2-year transformation program which aims to reduce $2 billion in costs by optimizing their spare parts inventory. That's a key aspect of their strategy. And then Parata and Electica are both examples of digitalization enabling remote service to improve the availability of their products. So this is just a very quick sampling of some of the dramatic effects of digital transformations are having across the enterprise, all the different business functions in the enterprise. Now we get to the part where we begin to talk more specifically about how PTC thinks about enabling technologies that help companies such as yours realize value from digital transformations. So we start with a robust partner ecosystem that we have that provides the infrastructure services to us, and Microsoft is one such partner that provides us the foundation for the cloud hosting services that we offer. And then the next layer of the cake here, if you will, we travel to the PTC Solutions Framework layer, which includes our own products, the ones that you use every day, as well as the products of partners such as Rockwell Automation and Ansys for manufacturing and engineering simulation, respectively. And this infrastructure and solution framework level are all there to enable the business functions: engineering, sales, marketing, manufacturing, operations, service, and the executive suite. Key to note here is the green writing in the inner loop. You'll notice digital twin and digital thread. That brings us back to the digital physical convergence thought and the reason for digital transformations to develop and manage all of the product digital data, which are the foundation for the digital twins of your products. The idea here is that different perspectives of these digital twins are leveraged by the business functions of your enterprise. So the digital thread, the linking, the contextualization, and the orchestration of this digital product data is how that insight traverses the enterprise. So now let's take a closer look at the PTC Solution Framework layer of this cake. And it's comprised of 4 highly interrelated platforms. The first is the 3D platform, made up primarily of the Creo product family of products. The product lifecycle platform, comprised primarily of Windchill and Integrity. The industrial orchestration platform, or ThingWorks, and then the experience platform provided mostly by the Vuforia products. Again, the focus of the remainder of this discussion today will be on the product lifecycle platform and specifically on Integrity. So Integrity is both a product line and a business unit within PTC. It's actually the part of the business that I'm responsible for leading. And simply stated, our mission is to deliver the integrity systems and software engineering solutions, which are a key element of PTC's engineering solutions and the product lifecycle platform that we just saw. So essentially, Integrity is a set of products for requirements management, systems engineering, product architecture, and software and test engineering. As we'll discuss in just a moment, Integrity enables smart, connected people, processes, and products. Our focus is primarily on industry verticals where safety and compliance are essential, so automotive, aerospace and defense, industrial products, and medical device products. And our top priority is to listen to you. I mean, that may sound like a cliche, but it's actually a value that we live by every day. So why do we do that? So that we can better align our product roadmap to your needs in a manner that is consistent with PTC strategy that we just reviewed. And what we've heard is that we need to be focused on extending PLM and Windchill with the critical elements of the digital twin, such as product requirements and architecture, and of the digital thread, such as integrations with Windchill that are based on industry standards and that use the most modern process orchestration capabilities that are available. We've also heard loud and clear that we need to enhance the usability of our products, and I won't get into the details here, but please know that we are on track to deliver usability updates to our web client starting this summer, And we're attempting to be very communicative about our progress. And one of the ways that we're doing that is by providing monthly recorded messages to our user community to not only share our progress, but equally important so that we can get feedback from you on what our priorities need to be. So please let me know if you'd like to be kept abreast of our progress with our enhancements to the Integrity Lifecycle Manager web UI, and I'll be happy to add you to the distribution list. Okay, so let's revisit this notion of how products are changing, and I'm doing this for the purposes of illustrating some of the challenges in the engineering domain. So I use a car. It's something that we're all have some familiarity with, and happens to be one of the segments that Integrity is quite strong in. And in fact, this is a mid-1960s VW Bug, and that's the kind of car that I actually learned how to drive in. So car my dad had was white, not green, but anyway. So like in the tractor in the first slide, the car has evolved from a purely mechanical device to a smart product with advanced computing capabilities and a series of systems that must be engineered, integrated, very important they're integrated, and tested into a connected entity with advanced interfaces to the environment in which they participate. So, just a couple of examples, connectedness and autonomy. I mean, this is enabling new business models for delivering mobility and service. So, this is opportunities such like, Train and Howden are exploiting for, developing or delivering their product as a service. And also, you have companies such as Lyft, Waymo, et cetera, that are also coming forth with very effective new models for mobility. Electrification, artificial intelligence, all the advanced sensors and electronics actually forces the different engineering disciplines to collaborate in manners never before necessary. And as you know, that's really hard. But you get it right, and at the end, you end up with a product that is, much better differentiated, of higher quality, and that is, provides a better user experience for your users. And lastly is the instrumentation and the software controls that enable new opportunities in, say, closed-loop lifecycle management, which I'll actually illustrate in the video here in a few slides. So the practices used to develop the VW Beetle were significantly different than the practices employed to develop, for example, the Jaguar I-Pace, which is an all-electric crossover released about a year ago. And I think if we look at this quote here by Nate Fleming from Forrester, I think he's got it right. Leveraging software and IoT-fueled product differentiation really forces you, product manufacturers, to act quite differently. I think this quote from Aberdeen is also quite significant. Model-based engineering is usually the key to a successful product. Why is that? Because it enables the different engineering disciplines to coalesce on a common product definition, which better enables them to articulate the integration point and to reconcile the interdependencies. So the stakes are quite high, and the opportunities are also significant. Improved product specifications, also known as requirements, better planning and management of variants and configurations, and leveraging field data from product fuels design innovations, which leads to market share and revenue improvements and efficiencies in warranty and compliance and rework. Again, capturing and leveraging data from connected products yields a better usable product and one that better delights your customers. And like KTM and Whirlpool, digital threads and engineering led to reduced cycle times and improvements in time to market. And integrity really plays an important part of this picture. So let me just take a moment here to share what are some of the basic capabilities of Lifecycle Manager and Modeler. So Lifecycle Manager provides advanced requirements engineering and test management and source code management with a level of robustness for safety and compliance critical products. And Modeler, on the other hand, here enables achieving, the revenue, cost, launch date, and quality targets described by the Aberdeen analyst. It's a modeling tool, systems modeling tool, which also offers system simulation and co-simulation that, among other things, enables the comparison of engineering designs against real-world data to facilitate better informed decisions. The key here to what's new is the new level of integrations with the other engineerings in the tool chain that Integrity and Windchill actually are delivering. So let me dive a little bit further into that to see how this tool chain, the product lifecycle platform, comes together to enable engineering digital transformations. So if we start with Lifecycle Manager, as I said, it's requirements, it's validation, and it's software engineering or source code management. Then we add Integrity Modeler for systems modeling, which enables you to define the functional and logical structure of your product, define options and variants, and provide system simulation capabilities. Creo, of course, provides the 3D designs, and within Windchill, you can do the CAD data management and the management of bills of material for engineering, manufacturing, and service. And then, of course, there's a whole compilation of third-party engineering tools that complete this ecosystem. And of course, this is just a representative set, not a complete list. So together, all of this data managed by this tool chain is really the foundation for your product digital twins. But the value of those digital twins isn't fully realized if it's just locked up in a bunch of disparate, isolated tools. So the first thing that is suggested is to include the physical products into this picture, which is really the first step of the physical and digital convergence. And then things start to get interesting when you begin to establish links and traces across this tool chain to and from your products. Linking this information across the engineering lifecycle is important, but that alone really doesn't complete the task in our view. This data needs to be contextualized. Knowing that a prototype, for example, passed a test is good, but knowing the specific requirements that were satisfied for which variant of the product and against the manufacturing bill of material for the version manufactured at the specific plant, well, then that becomes significantly more valuable. Also, the key is to having access to this data in the context of the role that you're playing. So if you're a requirements engineer, you want to see the parts associated with the requirement in the context of the requirement from the environment in which you spend most of your time, likely in Integrity Lifecycle Manager. Similarly, if you're a mechanical engineer working on a part, you live mostly in Windchill, you want to see the associated requirements and associated test cases from the perspective of your PLM tool. We've already delivered capability like this between Integrity Modeler and Windchill, and over the next couple of releases, we'll be completing this. Workflow orchestration is also important here as well. So if, for example, a certain test result condition is met, you want to alert the requirements engineer to take an action, or the engineer who developed the CAD drawing for the part to take an action himself, to make an adjustment in the design, for example. And integrations with this newly released ThingWorx Flow enables this type of powerful workflow orchestration capability. Cross-domain change management is just a use of this type of orchestration technology. So this information can be delivered to the user in the native UIs of the applications that they traditionally worked in role-based apps such as custom mashups or with ThingWorx Navigate, or in an augmented reality experience. So hopefully, I know this has been a quick flyby, but hopefully this begins to give you the perspective of how integrity affects product, people, and processes in engineering, and also the interrelationships between the integrity products and the rest of the engineering tool chain. On the product front, Integrity enhances the digital twin by adding requirements, functional and logical design, and test management to PLM to help you better differentiate your products. On the people front, we see vastly improved opportunities to collaborate and coordinate across the engineering domains to improve productivity. And finally, on the process front, this digital thread that not only links the data across the engineering cycle, but also delivers it in context, and that provides orchestration, improves operational effectiveness in engineering. So now I wanted to share a couple of brief videos to illustrate what we've just talked about. And Ego is a German startup who will soon be bringing to market electric cars for the urban setting. Now these aren't meant to be Tesla killers, but rather they're designed to be short haul vehicles meant for a quick run to the grocery store or to pick up your kids from basketball practice or whatever the case may be. So, okay, 2 short videos. The first one shows an AR interface for test case management, which in and of itself is quite interesting, but the truly impressive part of this is, that it shows how CAD drawings, PLM BOM information, and requirements and test management data are all linked and contextualized for a richer engineering experience. And then the second video is meant to depict how Integrity Modeler can be used for simulation. I'll provide the voiceover, and these were really prepared for illustrative purposes. All right, so again, the key point here is to look at the engineering end-to-end integration, as well as how the digital twin data comes to life. And I'll go ahead and start the video. So what you're seeing here is an augmented reality experience. Here's a prototype of an Ego car, and what you're seeing is Vuforia highlighting the state of testing with the different components of the car. So they're done with the seats, they're done with the rear suspension, but you'll see that the steering and some of the suspension parts are still need some work. And what you're seeing here is, and this is in German, I apologize for that, but you're able to show integrity data in the context of this augmented reality experience and interact with integrity data while you're seeing it in the context of the broader car and the interrelationships between the systems that comprise this car. You're able to see test sessions and requirements in context of each other. And here you'll see how they could be updated. You're doing, in this situation, you're going through a test and actually updating based on what's going on in the test. Right, and here you're seeing all the test cases that need to be completed, and the engineer could go ahead and edit the data. So information gets updated. This case is satisfied, or the required. This case is done. Nothing was read. Now that's complete as well. And what you'll see here is that once you confirm, the steering wheel, which is what we were in question, now turns green, and you know that you're done with that, and you're off to the next part of the test cases. So again, I think the cool thing here is how data from all these different tools in the engineering tool chain come together in a new and exciting manner. So this next video is another 2-minute video. In this case, Ego has developed a system model of their car. And this system model, of course, doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's linked with the rest of the product digital information for their car. And what they're doing here is running a simulation to compare their expected performance of their systems with the actual performance of their system in an operation while they're running on a test track. And why would they do this? And it really is to improve product design and time to market. So we'll go ahead and start this video. So what we're seeing here is a closed loop simulation using ThingWorx and Integrity Modeler working together and collecting real world data that gets transmitted from the car to a ThingWorx server using a cellular network, and it's this CAN bus data that we're streaming over to ThingWorx. So as you can tell, this is not a Porsche. So you're collecting data, and you can build a ThingWorx mashup where you can compare on the left-hand side here live data that's coming off of the car with what you had simulated when you were designing the system, and you can compare the real-world performance with what your expectation had been. So we think this is a pretty exciting and pretty neat capability that can be used, of course, here to improve the design of the system and of the product. And also you can go back and you can update your systems model and update your engineering models based on the real world data. So as I said, this is more illustrative than something that is in productive use, but I think it's an interesting demonstration of the capabilities of the technology, and for one, I'm very excited about the promise that this type of technology holds. And what I wanted to do here is just provide you a quick synopsis of how this all comes together. So you've got the product lifecycle platform, Windchill and Integrity, that manages the digital representation of this product, the Ego. This data across or among these engineering applications are linked and contextualized, leveraging technologies and standards such as OSLC, Open Services for Lifecycle Collaboration, and then OData and REST interfaces. Didn't really get to show too much of it here, but ThingWorx Flow is the name of the product that enables the orchestration. And here's a quick workflow representation of how this works. And then on the engage level, again, you could use native UIs, ThingWorx, or Vuforia to engage your engineers. So wrapping it up here in conclusion, what this slide here shows is a summary of some of the awards that PTC has earned over the last couple of years. We're quite proud of the progress that we're making. A lot of this is as a result of what we do together with loyal customers such as yourselves, and we're very excited about all that is being realized and the future that lies ahead for us here. So turning possibility into reality, we believe that we're in a position to work with industrial companies such as yourself, given our domain expertise, and providing you the technology framework that enables you to take advantage of this technology and to excel at what it is that you do. And of course, we have the partner ecosystem that you can capitalize on to begin to realize the promise of these digital transformations. Integrity systems and software engineering solutions, I'd be happy to share more with you about our integrity tools and the capabilities that we have and what we're building. You can come see us at LiveWorx. As Ron indicated, we now have a day on Monday, June the 10th, that's dedicated only for integrity. And certainly you can contact me, and here's my email address if, for example, you wanted to get added to the distribution list for the updates to the web user interface updates. Be more than happy to include you in that. And again, we are using this input, this feedback, to help inform each and every next iteration of or sprint actually of our product as we're going through the development cycle here. So last slide before we open up for questions and answers. June 10th in Boston, Integrity Symposium at LiveWorks. It's a full-day session. We're going to be covering all our products. And what we wanted to do was to, in a more intimate setting, provide you access to product experts, to our product management teams, provide you demonstrations of what's new. There will be opportunities at that point in time to engage with the new or updated user interface that we have for the Integrity web client. By that point in time, we expect to be close to being done, and the beta version will be done or will be out at that time. You'll be able to engage on discussions about product roadmaps. We look to have peers of yours providing presentations about what it is that they're doing with their implementations of Integrity in their engineering environments, and really hope to be able to provide a really impactful and powerful day for you. So I hope to see you there, and we'll be sending out more information on how to register. But if you like, you can certainly mark your calendars. And again, if you're interested now and you know that you're going to be there, please feel free to send me an email, and we'll be happy to get that over to you to make sure that we stay in contact with you. So again, let me thank you for your time and your attention here during this discussion. I hope it's been useful, and I can certainly take some questions now.
Thank you, Roque. That was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. So over the period of the WebEx, I muted everyone. So if you have a question for Roque, which we encourage you to do, I don't see anything in the chat. There was some communications about the technical issues we dealt with. But if you have any questions, just please unmute yourself, ask the question, and then mute yourself again so we can hear clearly. So any questions from anyone in the audience?
Yeah, this is Thomas. I have a question. For your source code control,
Yep.
Is there any comparison between Integrity and how the SVN server capabilities?
How do I unmute?
There was a question about source code management and how it compares with SVN. Subversion. Boy, I mean, there's volumes that could be said about that. Is there something in specific that I can help address, or would you just like for me to make a general comment about the comparisons between Subversion and Integrity Lifecycle Manager?
Yeah, high level is fine.
Okay. So certainly Subversion is a widely used source code management system. And I think there's a couple of points of comparison and differentiation between Lifecycle Manager and Subversion. The first of which is the tight integration with requirements and test cases. So the Integrity data model, it's a consistent data model across the entire software lifecycle. And that's not a level of integration that really exists in many other tools out there, certainly not in Subversion. There's integration with Windchill as well. And lastly, so why is this integration important? So it really is for compliance and safety critical products. Integrity provides because through that integration, you're able to better prove that the source code that you're managing has been properly tested and it satisfies the requirements that were laid out. And say in a automotive functional safety or a medical device compliance situation, that's what you need to be able to do. So it's really is that closed loop within the software. lifecycle that differentiates Integrity Lifecycle Manager. Does that help?
Hi, Lisa Vernon. I've got a question about your monthly notification on integrity.
Yep.
And how did you determine the distribution list? I'm on the Integrity TC committee.
Yep.
And I haven't been seeing those.
Okay. That's clearly a miss, Lisa. We'll be happy to add you to the distribution list. I can only apologize. I thought we had leveraged the PTC user community for the list, but again, we're happy to have you join the distribution list and start to share these with you.
It's a great question, Lisa. I did get it, right, and I did subscribe, but maybe, Roque, you can get that to the board, especially Carl, and he can make sure all the TC members have that.
Okay, will do. And again, Lisa, I'm sorry, but look forward to your feedback and your collaboration.
Thanks.
It's a good question. Any other questions? Again, and those of you not familiar with WebEx, just you see your microphone. If you click on it, you can unmute yourself on the panel, the participants panel.
Yeah, question from Bruce. The one thing, you show the whole integration right now. You didn't really mention any versions. Are these all just the current versions, all of this should be capable, or is this something that's near future, what we've shown today?
Yeah, so some is available, and some, as I indicated in during the discussion, is under development and will be available over the next couple of releases of Integrity Lifecycle Manager, Modeler, and Windchill. So to provide you a little bit more color, today we can, so today the integrations between Modeler and Windchill are available. In fact, that was one of the things that Whirlpool talked about at LiveWorks last summer, was how they used Windchill and Modeler together to manage their functional, logical, and physical designs. The releases of Windchill and of Integrity Lifecycle Manager in the summer will deliver the same level of integration between Lifecycle Manager and Windchill. Modeler and Integrity Lifecycle Manager are already bidirectional. There's, and would be happy to, Bruce, share more with you in a roadmap session if you would like to go into that level of detail, so we can share with you what was delivered when and what is expected when.
Okay, thanks.
Good question. I do have a question that came in, Roque, in the chat. So let me read this to you. It's a great question. So while we're in, we often are shown what digital engineering can do, and many of us get that. Given the current systems we have in our workplace, however, many of us don't get the how to start using the PTC assets we already have in a more connected manner. So the question is, in the future, do you envision PTC offering embedded application coaches like floor walkers to help us leverage our assets and our systems in the most efficient manner? Great question.
Boy, that is really a great question. And the idea of embedded coaches is a fantastic opportunity, and is a fantastic idea. Improving. So some of you use. I'm drawing a blank on what it's called, the product advisor capability, which you can opt in so that we can better get a sense of how your applications are performing in your environment. It would be a natural progression of that type of technology to be able to not only receive information but be able to provide you coaching and guidance based on your usage. So I think that's a great suggestion for sure, and one that I'll engage back with the team that is working and looking how to continue to evolve the product advisor capabilities that exist for many of our products today.
Okay. Yeah, great. That was good. Well, we'll bring that up. Certainly, PTC user. I'll bring that up to the board as well. I think we all share in that that need. So there's a clarification here. A question came through. Clarification. ThingWorx acts as a data acquisition software. Is that correct?
That's a simplification that I made. Yeah. So the chain, how this works, it usually involves several steps to get there. So in an industrial setting, for example, you have Kepware that actually takes the information from the industrial machine, and then there's adapters that feeds that into ThingWorx, and then ThingWorx takes it in, and you're able to display it in mashups and things of that nature. So this probably came in the context of the car, the closed loop simulation, and to be completely honest with everybody, I don't know the specifics of how that connection was made, but ThingWorx does have the capability of taking data and information from sensors and ingesting it into its system.
Very good answer. Thank you, and good question. So we're coming up on the hour here. What we'd like to do, Roque, if you'd engage us, have you back later, after LiveWorx, after you get the beta, at least the beta release, if not the production release out, and then kind of tell us, this is what we thought we were going to do, this is what we did, and what we think we're going to do in the future. Is that something you'd be open to?
Absolutely. More than happy to do that, Ron. And I really welcome the opportunity to engage and collaborate. And while we're talking here, I'm going to add my email address. So if anybody wants to connect with me, please do so. It's rockiem@ptc.com, and I most certainly welcome the opportunity to collaborate with PTC user and to share openly the progress that we're making, and to get your input and incorporate that into our plans.
Great, we appreciate that. I know from my own experience, you're exceptionally responsive, Roque, much better than I am. So I appreciate that. So I want to thank everybody. I do one reminder. I got to do my advertisement. We're having another webinar next Thursday. We like to space them out. It just worked out this way, especially with spring break coming up for many of us. Next week we have Michael Dennis, who's going to do a design process and automation talk from us. He's from UTC Carrier, and that's co-sponsored sponsored with one of our close partners, Maxim. So again, same time, 1 week from today, will be Michael's presentation. So please join us. So again, thank you, Roque. Thank you all for your attention and your patience with all this, going through all this, with the technical stuff. But we got through it. It was very enjoyable. I will, as soon as the recording's available, I will post it up at the PTC user on the Exploder, and I will make a list of people that have. I'll get a list of people who attended. If you have your email address correctly, I'll make sure you get a direct email. If not, look out for the Exploder, and I'll have a update there with the link to the recording as well. So thank you. Everybody have a very nice rest of your day and a great weekend, and we'll hopefully see you all at LiveWorx. Take care.